Hi, I'm Kunle Campbell. I'm the founder of 2x eCommerce. 2x eCommerce is a purpose-driven community for ambitious leaders at e-commerce brands seeking to deliver more value to the market, communities, and audiences they serve. You can start small. Many e-commerce businesses were passion projects. You think about Gymshark, you think about Tala, you think about new e-commerce businesses. The major thing to be aware of with an e-commerce business is understanding who you're selling to, the audiences you're selling to essentially, and then catering your products to suit their needs. And in the age of social media, e-commerce is so accessible. If you are active on social media, you're able to spot trends and then, in essence, create products that match those trends. It's a highly scalable business because you could start with a few products. E-commerce does not necessarily only mean selling direct to consumer on your website. Some e-commerce businesses have started off the back of selling on marketplaces, and then off the back of understanding the dynamics and from all the transactions and customer information from marketplaces have expanded to selling directly to consumer. The key thing is getting started as early as possible because it's a hugely scalable business. It's retail in the digital space essentially. So my advice with starting out with e-commerce, why you should start out with e-commerce, is essentially understanding a need within a group of people, like an audience, a segment, or a community, and then creating products in very little quantities, very few quantities, and then demonstrating that you could sell to them, test, learn, iterate, and eventually double down on that. You'd see that you'd move from your room to your garage to a small space and eventually a warehouse. It's really starting that's most important, and identifying a need. A lot of people who give up or who lose in e-commerce think about it as a short-term gain. It requires a lot of time as you start to scale. Margins could be limited because you need to, a lot of the money you make, from the sales needs to be plowed back again towards getting, goods, towards buying, stock again or producing. And the other thing is the cost of advertising. So if you're not building an audience, and you're advertising, the cost of advertising might be very high. So it's something to watch, but it's certainly something that can be managed. I advise e-commerce businesses to build communities and audiences first, or build them in tandem while you're building your e-commerce business, so that the initial cost of acquiring a customer can be suppressed, but most especially so that you have a continuous returning customer flow that really suppresses the cost of marketing. You need to look at it as a long game and say, okay, initially I'm not going to make money like how I make money from a salary by working. I am actually building a base that will be frequently buying from my brand, and that's when I'm going to make money. So the long-term gains from e-commerce may be 12 months, 18 months, 20 months ahead, and it's hardly ever short-term. So if you think long-term in this game, I think you'll do just fine.